Hello everyone, rogues and shade agents alike, those of you who have left the division, following the words of Aaron Kinner, this is only the beginning. What I'm about to discuss today is stemming from several posts on Reddit and multiple sources and independent sources online. At some points in this video, I might mention certain things that will discredit the Division 2 developers. I hope that you don't take this to heart or you don't take any of this personal, because I really don't want you guys to see it that way. I want us to be able to have a discussion and see this from multiple sides. With all that said, let us begin. So this starts with multiple posts on Reddit and across the internet saying that more than 1.5 million individuals were banned in the recent Division 2 ban wave. There was even an inside source saying that after the ban was issued, a huge panic began in the studio and among multiple developers at Massive. Some said that not all developers agreed with the ban to begin with, but the people who carry majority of the power at the studio agreed that there should be a ban wave, mainly because there are some French individuals who complained about this on Twitter, and this is something that a lot of other creators have also pointed out as well. So you might be wondering, why am I bringing up being French? Why would it matter in this situation? For one, this is a French studio, and others come from past employee posts like the ones on Glassdoor. This was written in 2015, and the person said that they've been working at Massive full-time for more than a year. Pros included fun and engaging environment and some committed individuals. On the cons section, the person said that bureaucracy was one of the biggest issues. If you're not French, there is no career advancement in Ubisoft. And of course, the list goes on, including low pay and all those type of stuff. Now, if you go on across this entire thread on Glassdoor, you will see similar things and similar posts like this. And these are not something recent. This is post coming from 2015, 2016, 2017, some even 2019. This is something that leads me to believe that there is a little bit of a crazy thing going on out there. People are talking about the extent of the politics at Massive and some sort of a French clique going on within the studio. And in my own thoughts, I start wondering every single one of these people cannot be lying, which leads me to believe that a French publication or individual complaining about this on Twitter led to these recent bans. And if you read more on these reviews, you will be left speechless because some of them are just so hard to explain. We're still dealing with this 1.5 million. Well, the developers said that they're not going to release the numbers. They said that it is not half of their player base. But there are also some inside sources saying that the numbers are in the millions, and it also includes individuals who haven't signed on in 2020 at all. Hence why they looked distraught and nervous on the latest state of the game. So my question is, if it wasn't in the millions, then they would have to just tell us the numbers. Studios and games like PUBG, Fortnite, even EA when it came to Apex, shared info on the amount of players that they banned from hacks and some form of an exploit. The only reason not to share this information or show it is if you did something wrong and you're now scared of the repercussion. Now, once again, we're just going based on the details and the information we have here. This is me just examining the available information. Yes, let's discredit the Reddit post. What about the thousands of reviews on Glassdoor dating back to 2018, 2015, 2014? And those things talked about the work environment at Massive and how they handle things and how their technical support is even ridiculous. There are so many things that is going on, things that are wrong with the studio that you can see on Glassdoor that really shed some light on what we are experiencing right now. I spoke with Destin from IGN yesterday evening, and a few others also acknowledged that Massive is making a major mistake with this ban wave. Imagine if Bungie had done this when Lord of Wolves was broken, or when some people found a loot cave, or when Prometheus Lens was broken. Even Bungie threw a shot at Massive in their latest TWAB, where Bungie spoke on them taking responsibility as a studio and not banning innocent individuals. I have spent the last 24 hours asking different individuals if I could log into their account and see what is going on. There are individuals who are on my friends list who haven't logged into the game in 30 days, some of them as long as 80 days and more. I logged into their account and I realized that some of them were banned as well. Out of 6 people that I checked, 2 of them were banned. And that is telling you something out there, because 6 individuals who haven't logged into the game more than 30 days, 2 of them were banned. Now, there's no way to justify the ban for those people because they were not even involved in those situations. This means that some inactive players were caught in this crossfire, and I think this is where the integrity and the honesty of the studio should come in. If someone used this bug or glitch in PvP, then, by all means, ban them, as a lot of people have expressed as well. But don't ban the guy or girl who hasn't logged in since TU6. And even if all these claims from 5-year-old post on Glassdoor was false, and all these claims about 1.5 million being banned was false, there's a little bit of guilt that can be seen in the body language, in the facial expression, and even the eyes of the developers when it came to the state of the game that we saw recently. And sometimes all it takes is coming out and saying you were wrong about some things, and you will make a change, and you will make a difference, and you will do something about it. Ask for forgiveness from the community who spend their hard-earned cash to pay you and keep you employed and keep the lights on in your studio and in your homes. Now, I see a lot of people disregarding this, but I will speak to you from experience as a former Warframe partner when it comes to studios disregarding their player base or some outspoken content creators out there. When we called out digital extremes for Warframe years ago, some community members and even creators said nothing was wrong with the game and that the developers were doing great. A year later, the same creators started speaking out on the same issue because now it began to affect them. And the same people who bashed me and others in other videos now came to the realization that certain things had to be said. Now it takes some growth not to lash out, because if this was DA or a few years ago, I would have, said some things and used some spicy words, but I have grown a lot since then. And that is why I'm being calm right now as we're explaining these things and trying to point out the problem that we're facing. It is important that we point out any level of incompetence, bureaucracy, or just lack of skill. There has to be some restructuring in the studio, and this is not just for Massive, but with a lot of studios as well. Do I think the bans were in the millions? I believe so. I believe the bans were in the millions because there is no reason why they shouldn't have shown that. If it was just in the thousands, they would have shown us and told us how many people were banned. But because it was in the millions, it would lead to a form of an embarrassment. And even if we don't believe that, the current ratings on the State of the Game video is 3.5 to 1 when you look at the thumbs down, about 3.7 or so when it comes to thumb downs, and around 900 and something when it comes to thumbs up. So if you're just looking at that as a representation of the numbers of players within the community, that will tell you a lot about it. Personally, I don't have anything against anyone or any developers, but I think they have to be very careful. This is how you kill a company 101 overnight. That is basically what is going on right here. And public relations seems to be their weakest suit. Now, if they take Bungie as a great example, I think they could learn a lot from that studio. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section, and I will also leave a link to the Glassdoor reviews as well. As always, it's DA signing out. I'll see you all in the next one.